Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Hopefully, you're doing pretty well. I will say the market is very mixed this morning. We have a lot of stocks going all over the place on earnings today. So here's the calendar. Here's who reported. We had Coca-Cola, General Motors, General Electric, McDonald's, Raytheon, UPS, and more report today. So looking at a lot of these stocks right here, we obviously had some big reports happen. Shopify is down a lot, down 15% after the company says they'll lay off 10% of their workers. Let's go check out Shopify here on the chart. Yeah, they are really falling off, like it said, around 15% to the downside, all the way down to like 31.20 there at the low. That's pretty low, guys, especially on a stock like Shopify. Plus, Shopify reports earnings tomorrow before open, so it's going to be a really crazy next couple days for them. But looking at the other stocks in the market here that do report tomorrow morning and today, tonight is going to be absolutely huge, guys. I mean, just be on the lookout for this. We're going to have Google, Microsoft, Visa, Enphase, Chipotle. I know Chipotle doesn't matter too much, but still, I mean, that is just huge there. Boyd is reporting too. I know they do like stuff with casinos, I think, and like betting. So look at them too. But yeah, good morning, Iranical, Jacob, Jamie, George, of course, Vicky, Keisha, and Slick Messi. Hey, Slick, how are you doing? Glad to see you in here this morning. It's been a while since I've seen your name hit the chat, but yeah, what's up, Stocked Up fam? What's up, Tom? Shout out my boy Hunter. What's up, Mike? Yeah, what's up, Slick? Hopefully you're having a great day today. Even Keisha's coming in saying what's up. So there we go. Yeah, it's been a while, Slick. Hopefully you're doing well navigating these crazy markets lately. I know it's been kind of insane, but tonight's gonna get even more crazy. So be on the lookout for that. Looking at my watch list today, though, you know we do have another stock up 12% again, and that's Redbox. Now we did say that this stock's a no play for us in yesterday's video, but Redbox is popping up again today, and we got pretty close to that high of yesterday. Right around $6.60. Now, if we end up breaking above that high of yesterday, I feel like Redbox might be a good play. Now, when I say might, I mean that pretty strongly. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I think that it'll be something, like it might pop up another like 10% or something. I don't think that we're going to see 80% like we saw yesterday. That was, I think, a bit of an outlier. So, but nonetheless, guys, I mean, that is just a big pop. Even this morning, that gap up is pretty big. We actually have Triple M flying to the upside today, interestingly. So Triple M actually looks like they did well on earnings. They're good. They're actually starting to come back to the upside now in a pretty good way, and they're up 7%. That's actually really, really good for a stock like Triple M here. Man, Triple M got beaten down with COVID, and yeah, they came back down recently, retested lows, and now they're trying to come back up. Honestly, it seems like a fairly good play in my opinion for longer term pickup. You might be able to short a put on this or grab some shares, but nonetheless, I'd like Triple M for the long term. It's just, man, they've been all over the place the past couple of years. I will say I was into Triple M before COVID happened, and then that COVID drop occurred and it had me freaked out, but then I sold for a gain after we came back up like 3 or 6 months later. So it was cool to see that at least, but yeah, it was crazy holding through that COVID drop, I'll tell you that. Actually, Triple M just went above Redbox on my watch list. This is pretty interesting. Let's see the 5-minute candle for Redbox here. Yeah, it's starting to pull back down a little bit today. Like I said, Triple M just broke above, which is awesome. They're up 7.3%, leading the way in a big way there. We have Baba actually gapped up today too. So hey, I'll take that movement with good old Alibaba today. I know lots of people have been looking at that one. Sean says, let's go. Yeah, let's go, Sean. Keisha says, a little late. Did you mention Walmart? They fell off a cliff. Yeah, they definitely did, Keisha. They had a pretty bad earnings report. There was a lot of earnings this morning that came out. I was gonna go through the list in a little while and maybe get some articles up, but yeah, Sean says, let's go. Bill says, good morning, everybody. I'm fierce. Good morning. Sean says, SPY levels. Let's see. Good old SPY. You know, SPY's right on a pretty big support here, right at 393. Yeah, I mean, Sean, I would say coming up, pretty big support right at like 392.75. If we break below that, then I think that we could look for a nice play with puts to the downside on the SPY today. So I would definitely watch for that, Sean. This is a big area of support right here. And actually, it's not just SPY. Apple also has this same area of support. It's not, of course, it's not the exact same because obviously the SPY is different than Apple. But you can see how they've kind of been moving the same here over the past week. Just consolidating here at a nice support. And we'll have to see how it does. But as of now, that 393 to 392.70 support is holding up a little bit, Sean. And you can see that SPY is like having some issues falling down. It's actually holding its ground a little bit as of now. I will say though, I am a little bit bearish today. I don't like this setup, and I feel like that the SPY will end up in the red. Now I could always be wrong, but you know, just eyeing up the setup right now and just looking at the price action of the market, I would say I'm leaning to the downside with SPY. Hey, SM, thank you for the super chat. They said, hi, Tom. Apple calls or puts for scalping. But yeah, let's go. Thanks for the super chat. That's awesome. Apple calls or puts. So I actually have Apple as my free day trade in the Discord today. So I have Apple, if they fall below 150, 170, to go ahead and play some puts to the downside. So SM, I am going to say puts today on Apple. I think that we're going to see Apple turn over as the market starts to go on today. And I think we're going to see the SPY turn over too. You know, Walmart was definitely not a good earnings report. You did not want to see that. They gapped down, and this is a big retailer, guys. Like, one of the big boys on the market. So, got to be worried about to see them have some bad numbers there. Plus, Shopify sinking. Like we said, 15% after they said they'll lay off 10% of their workers. And I'm like they're saying here, Walmart's dragging other companies lower. Let's see what some of these earnings are looking like for Walmart though. Let's see. McDonald's had mixed results. Here it is. Yeah, they cut their profit outlook on inflation concerns. So yeah, that's definitely not good. I know a higher dollar has been hurting a lot of these companies too, obviously, and that's part of the inflationary pressure, but still that's a pretty big deal as well. I'm curious to see, like, as we scroll down, what they're going to say about this, because let's see. They're saying as consumers face higher prices at the gas pump, grocery store, and restaurants, some consumers are choosing where to spend money and where to pull back. In some cases, they are prioritizing experiences they missed during the pandemic, such as splurging on a vacation or dinner at a restaurant. Interesting. Let's see. Walmart says it now expects same-store sales to rise in the U.S. by about 6% in the second quarter, excluding fuel, as customers buy more food at its stores. Interesting. So they're expecting people to buy more food, even though there's higher inflation where people you would think would be watching their money more, but I don't know. Or maybe they're not going out and they're buying more food is what they mean. Maybe that's what it is. You know, I didn't think about that. That could be a good thought. You know, people are going in. They're going out, I should say, to a lot of restaurants and stuff like that. If they stop doing that and they start cooking at home, you know, Walmart, I could see how Walmart could profit from that. Looks like Walmart's CEO said the increasing levels of food and fuel inflation are affecting how customers spend, and while we've made good progress clearing hardline categories, apparel in Walmart US is requiring more markdown dollars, CEO Doug McMillon said. So they're saying the apparel section needs more markdown, which is interesting. Yeah, that is pretty crazy though. Yep, consumer spending is going to be big, and we actually have some pretty big numbers coming out on Friday that's going to go over consumer spending. So we have personal spending and personal income. So I know that's not consumer spending, but personal spending, it's still a good metric to look at. But SM, I know, going back to your question here with Apple, let's go back and see, because I'm still thinking to the downside here today. I'm kind of torn, though. Personally, I definitely am thinking down, though. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one. I mean, Apple's like right on support too, making it like even harder for us. Hmm. Yeah, good morning, Mike Chang. Thanks for joining up. I appreciate it as always, of course. And if you guys are liking the stream, of course, smash that like button and we can that'll definitely help us out nonetheless. But I'm still just waiting for Apple to fall below that 151.70 level. Really waiting for that move down here. And it looks like as of right now, we just are starting to get another big like red candle coming in here to the downside. Man, I really hope to see some good volatility today. I hope the market doesn't go quite as flat as yesterday. Like the SPY was pretty much unchanged throughout the day. It moved around a little bit, but once we settled down, it ended up closing in the green just ever so slightly there at the end of day. But I'm thinking that we'll see SPY possibly continue to go down here today, kind of like Apple. But either way, even if we don't go down, if we bounce and then get a big move back up, I don't even mind that as long as we get a good move one way or the other, because we need some good price action here. Oh man, DraftKings. No, that's not what you want to see with good old DraftKings today. They're falling down. We have AMD kind of falling off a little bit here today as well. Wow. Definitely not what you want with AMD. I bet people were looking for this one to rip back up, but yeah, I don't know. I'm actually into some AMD puts here. Got a little gamble play going on. Some AMD. Wow, so this morning AMD, they fell right back down into that purple support that we posted yesterday, and now they're moving right back up off of that. So very interesting to see how that stock fell right down into support. Let's see that 1 minute candle again. Okay. It's just it wasn't extended out. There we go. Sometimes charts can be a little strange, guys. Like you'll draw trend lines, and on the 5 minute it'll look different than on like the hour, for example. Like, and it's definitely changing spots. I don't know if it's like something weird with how the chart condenses down. It just calculates different or what. But sometimes you can draw like some supports or something, and they end up being off a little bit. J Deep says KO and Amazon heading up, and Iranical says thoughts on Goog. Keisha said UPS tanked. Did it? UPS is down? Oh my gosh. Talk about a bad earnings report there. Whoa. Actually, it's not that bad. It's only down 4%. That 1 minute chart made it look a lot worse than it was. Initially, I was a lot more worried, but yeah, that is a bad move, Keisha, for sure. J Deep said, though, KO and Amazon are moving up. So let's see. KO is doing well with those earnings from this morning. I know I looked into this one a little bit. Let's see. Amazon, AMZN, they're saying. Yeah, Amazon's having a fairly good day, too. This one's still down 3%, though, I guess, with Walmart's earnings and all those other companies, but let's see. Amazon was actually like flying down yesterday in after hours, which is pretty crazy. I don't know why it was down so much yet last night, because I don't remember seeing any crazy earnings plays there. Let's see if there's any news. Oh, okay, it was the Walmart stuff. Okay. Yep. It was Walmart dragging down Amazon. That's right. Yep, Walmart, Amazon, Target. Who else? Costco, I bet's down. Yep, Costco's down. That was surprising. Yeah, Iranical says thoughts on Goog, and SM fan says Microsoft Google earnings play. SM, I'll be honest, I would never play earnings on these stocks. I mean, that is just so risky. Um, Maybe wait till after the earnings. Personally, I feel like Google is not going to have a good report. I feel like they're going to do not too well here. A lot of companies are reporting layoffs right now or job cuts, and then we also seeing companies even report obviously like negative outlooks with a lot of the inflation numbers coming out and everything like that. So the outlooks lately have been brutal as well. But the main thing with Google is that they have that ad revenue that they rely on. So, they're relying on ad revenue and they have to try to obviously make money on ads from their YouTube services, from Google, from everywhere like that. And Snapchat reported on their last report that, there's been a big slowdown in ad spending. And that's going to definitely hit Google probably. Now, hopefully this is priced in. You can definitely see Google has been falling off with Snapchat, so this might be priced in. But you just have to be very, very careful, very aware with Google. Personally, SM, I would not trade this. And as far as like guessing the earnings here, I would guess to the downside because of all those ad issues. But I'm just not going to play it. As far as Microsoft goes, that's one that I feel like they could have a good report, but looking at that price action today at market open, I'm not so sure now. I'm not too confident in it, that's for sure. It's not looking good today either. That's a bad drop with Microsoft. Excuse me, but get rid of my old arrow from last night. Yeah, we talked about Microsoft a lot last night, and it had that big double bottom down here, and wow, the way that they sank here at market open is just terrible looking. Let's go back to Apple really quickly. Yeah, like they're not even near as bad. It's so weird. Microsoft had a very weird move. What a weird move. I'm gonna screenshot this actually. Yeah, it's a bad move with Microsoft there. Yeah, that's very unfortunate to see, actually, guys. That's going to be pretty bad. He's asking for QQQ levels. Oh, man. This thing's flying down. Oh, wow. It's at a big support, though, actually. Good call, E. Good call. Let's see. Let's see. Let's post a little line here on the chart. Bam. Oh, it didn't go. Now, bam. There we go. So, yeah, we got that line here sitting somewhere right around, it looks like 296.20, maybe like 296. Yeah, the QQQ is really falling off today with Microsoft going down. I think that's really leading it down, E, is Microsoft. That's not good to see whenever you see Microsoft falling off that much. It's definitely worrisome, and we're probably going to see continued volatility off of this. Sean Cornish says he's in on some SLV calls for a day trade. Come on, 1731. There we go. SM says that means they're going to have good earnings on Microsoft. Well, I mean, SM, like, it's a total guess with earnings. If I sat here and I told you that, yes, Microsoft's going to have good earnings, and then they went south, and you lost like half your account off that, I'd feel so bad because I know that those plays are so risky. Like, I'll be honest, if you're going to play earnings or you're going to try to guess it, I'd probably say you only have like a 10% chance to win, on that play. I've seen people just lose nonstop on earnings, so I don't know, it's kind of a tough thing. I've seen so many accounts get blown on this. So I'd recommend not playing it, but if you really had to, I think Microsoft is very mixed, 50-50. On Google, I'm leaning to the downside. So on Google, I'm leaning down. On Microsoft, I think it's 50-50, but I still think it'll end up being negative, even on them. But yeah, the earnings are kind of insane there, SM. I know it's just it's tough to play earnings, and if you do play it, I would like you to let me know what kind of strikes and stuff you got, because I'll keep up with the play, because I'll be interested to see if it does well or not. But I would say just make your own decision on those earnings plays, because it's always just a total coin flip, and really you just have to try to guess on like the outlook and everything like that right now. And with the way Walmart looks with their outlook, I don't know how confident I am. Keisha says Zom has been looking good. XOM, let's see, has it? Good old Zom. Yeah, it's doing pretty good, popping up today. I will say Oxy had a crazy chart. Crazy chart. SM says, but premiums on Google is really marginal. Not bad at all. The thing is, though, is that no matter what it looks like, that it's still going to come down after the event, like, so there's still going to be like let me add my volatility to the chart, because apparently I don't even have it. Hang on. Oh, here it is. Okay. We'll go to Google, I guess. Let's see. The good news is Google split a while ago, so they're back down to 100 a share. That is one good thing about it. But yeah, see this setup on Google? I think this looks bearish, very bearish, and I'm also leaning to the downside with Google here. But let's check out some of the premiums, because I'm interested, because there's going to be a lot of expectations here today. And I want to give you a good example. So let's just say we use this week's expiration, because I'm sure that's what everybody's going to use, either this week or next week. So this is actually pretty telling here. So on Google, if you go out to puts here, and you go to the, let's just say, to the 100 strike put, they're saying that there's only a 25% chance of Google running down to $100 a share. Now, whenever we look at other parts of the market here, or whenever we look at other parts of the options chain, I'm looking at this pricing, and I'm seeing like $300, $350 like at the money right now. Now, after earnings, if we just froze the chain right here, and then we reported earnings, and that IV fell a little bit, these prices will end up going down automatically, just because the IV is gonna crush, and it happens all the time. Let's go see if Walmart's IV crushed today. Their IV actually flew up because it was kind of a surprise, but let's try and, like, what was the other big earnings today? McDonald's, for example. Like, look at McDonald's. See how their IV, the stock's up this morning a little bit, but that IV is down. And another thing is that the market's expecting a move. Now, you can try and interpret how big of a move you think the market's expecting. So, if you think, for example, the market's expecting like a 5% move with Microsoft, you'll have to do the math and see if that's what's being priced in on the options chain. Personally, I don't think it looks that good. You're paying like $300 a contract for a contract that expires in 3 or 4 days. I don't know. I don't think it's that good, but hey, if you want to take a stab at it, go ahead. More power to you. Just don't come to me when you lose on it. That's the only thing I have to say. I'm here to try to be as honest as I can, and SM, you've been very supportive of the channel, and I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you lose anything here. Let's see. They're saying the 108 put for August 5th. Cool. Awesome. Let's go check that out. 108 put August 5th. I'm glad you're getting in the money. I mean, that's good. That's good news, at least. Let's see. I mean, that might not be too bad. Normally everybody's trying to gamble on like far out of the money plays on these earnings moves, but the 108 put might not be too bad. I will say personally, I wouldn't get a lot of it. Just always know your risk tolerance, obviously. But yeah, I hope it goes well for you nonetheless. It's the 108 put. I think Google will end up doing pretty bad. They rely a lot on ad revenue and different stuff like that. I mean, their ad revenue reliance is actually pretty big. Like when you think about it, they have YouTube, they have all that search stuff on Google and all that. That's like all ads. So if those ad numbers are down, I'm sure they're gonna see a bit of a drop. Kind of like what's been being priced in since Snapchat happened. Actually, SM says, "LOL, it's okay." Yeah, I hope it is. Man, I just don't want to see you get hurt there on those earnings, but hopefully if we have a big drop like Microsoft, I mean, those earnings, the options will probably do pretty good, SM. So I don't know, that 108 put is not too bad. I was kind of expecting you to say like the 100 strike put or something, but yeah, the 108, I don't know. At least you're getting in the money. I still think it'll end up going crazy, but we'll see. What else reports though today? I know Enphase reports tonight too. Let's go see that calendar real quick. So we have Enphase, Visa, Microsoft, and Google tonight. So Microsoft and Google. Let's go see Enphase though real quick one more time. Enphase is honestly not bad today. Kind of consolidating up here at the top around 220. Yeah, like in all reality, this does not look half bad. And yeah, I mean, honestly, Enphase is not doing too bad here. So I'll take that with them. I know Redbox is still just kind of consolidating today. Like we said yesterday, no play. That I would say no play on this one still. Even with the movement today, I'd say no play again. Kind of like double topping up there. If we can break out of that, maybe it'll be a play. At least a scalp. Man, Baba had a gap up, but now it's coming back down. Like, these China stocks have been kind of lackluster lately, to say the least. Sucks to see these ones down like this. Let's see, Chewy again. Oh my gosh, guys, Chewy fell off 9.1%. Chewy actually had a really bad fake out happen like last week at the end of the week, and that thing now is wow, I cannot believe Chewy's down 9%. Guys, that is a bad move. I mean, look at how big that looks on the chart too. Like, we gave back all the gains from last week pretty much, and yeah, that's terrible. Let's see, CCL too. Yeah, Carnival Cruise Lines has been another one that's like dying off today. Definitely not. You don't want to see him dying off that much. I mean, that is pretty rough here, guys. Honestly, CCL is almost back down to that big support around like 865 or like 867, somewhere like right around there. It's almost back down to there. There's been CCL has had, let's see, 1, 2, 3 just terrible trading days in a row, and we're like heading on to the fourth one right now. So that's a terrible setup, guys. I mean, these cruise lines and airlines were doing good just a week ago, and now they really turned around. SM says Enphase and Visa. Any thoughts? Visa is going to be very interesting with all those credit card numbers and stuff like that coming out. I know they've been saying people have been kind of like, I think, running up their credit cards more lately, so maybe that'll help out Visa. But I would say personally, I think Visa has a chance to do decent on this one, especially compared to other stocks. Like I said, if there's high inflation and people are like using their credit cards a lot or something like that, I think Visa could end up doing fairly well. Now, Enphase to me is an outlier. This one I feel like is going to be a tough one. I don't know which way this one's going to go. I think it's 50-50. I'm kind of leaning up with Enphase personally, but with the way that we're like right on this key 220 resistance, I have to say, like, as I look at it, it definitely scares me, and I want to say I lean to the downside, but it's a very tough trade. Yeah, it's a tough one, There's that resistance there at 220. The earnings are so 50-50. The good news is Enphase, I feel like, has done fairly good with their earnings the past few reports. Like, let's see. Yeah, like on this report here, they exploded up. On the next report after that, they exploded up a little bit for a day. Let's see the most recent one. Yeah, the most recent one sent them back up too. So interesting. Maybe they'll end up doing good. They've had like 3 good reports in a row. Honestly, 4 good reports in a row. Now that I went back and even look at this, you can see they beat both are in the green, both are in the green, both are in the green again, both green again. And then this one we're expecting, let's see, estimate 508 million. Yeah, that revenue is going to grow a lot if it comes out at 508. 0.85 on the EPS, which would be a little bit of growth too. So You know, I would think Enphase might beat. I will say that this is one stock that's done very well. They're up here around that resistance. Yeah, I would say Enphase might do pretty well, SM. Personally, especially looking at those last earnings reports. Hopefully they don't report any like layoffs or anything though. That's where I start to get scared in this type of market is like layoffs and like bad outlooks because I feel like they'll do pretty good as of now. J Deep says 3M. They said options went from 1.50 to 0.24. That sounds bad. Oh, you mean with the earnings? I see. Yeah, you mean with the earnings. Let's go see. I will say Triple M's a slow mover though, so let's look at August 5th. So Triple M went up. Well, a lot of those options went up like 100% plus on Triple M. Yeah, and you redacted a message, J Deep, so maybe something was like typed wrong or something, but you're saying the options went from 1.5 to 0.24. That sounds bad, to be honest. Is that the puts? Let me go see those puts. Maybe that's what you're looking at. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing that on the options chain. Either way, though, Triple M did have a pretty big pop this morning. I will say this is, to me, a slower, longer-term stock. I think this one will actually be really good for the long term. Hang on here. I'm going to get the dashboard up. Look at Triple M's numbers real quick. Their price of sales is 2.2. They only have net margins, though, of 11%, which isn't the best. Their market cap's pretty big, though, 79 billion. They do pay a dividend, which is nice. So, very interesting, but yeah, they've actually been on like a steady uptrend. Like their revenue's been growing a little bit. See, their cash flow down here is been doing pretty good. Obviously, 2020 was better than 2021, it looks like, for operating cash flow and free cash flow. See who's reporting tonight. Microsoft. Look at their earnings, guys. And Microsoft's earnings have been insane to look at that on the yearly chart. That's actually really, really good. Let's switch that to quarterly real quick. The quarterly's not bad either, so I don't know. I just feel like that Microsoft has a chance to do decent. I feel like Google is the one that I'm worried about with those ad numbers. That's really where I'm personally worried about these earnings here. J Deep's, oh, they meant 3M calls. Yeah, I know some of those calls did amazing, J Deep, on 3M. I mean, they're up 100% plus in some big ways there. Jacob Fan says, just did my first profitable trade on my own with Amazon. There we go, Jacob. That's awesome. Guys, give Jacob some love in the chat. Throw him down there. Throw him some W's down there. Smash the like button for Jacob too. But yeah, I mean, guys, this is that's awesome. Just did your first profitable trade on your own with Amazon. That's great to hear. So appreciate you telling us that, Jacob. That's awesome. So yeah, great job there. Great trade. Glad to see you get some profits today, and hopefully you can keep doing that, because you know, if you can just hit together some nice profitable days in a row, you can end up having some pretty good weeks come in. So amazing play, Jacob. Were you playing Amazon puts or were you playing Amazon calls? Let me know. I'll be interested to see how that went today. I don't really care which one you played. I just am I'm just interested in the movement. So yeah, but nonetheless, I appreciate you telling me that, and that's awesome. So cool. Like I said, give Jacob some W's in the chat, guys. That's awesome. Oh, SM says boo, Jacob. Oh man, SM, you're giving him you're doing him some dirty right now. That's that's not very good. Oh, SM. SM, I was not expecting to see that. You got me laughing here now. Oh, I was not expecting that. Keisha says, great job, though. Jacob said they did calls. Okay, cool. You played some calls back up today. That's awesome. Great move. Yeah, that's funny though. Played the calls back up after those Walmart earnings destroyed them last night, or Walmart outlook, I should say. Kind of destroyed the stock there, but that's awesome though. Still though, great trade. Ironical says shop, rest in peace. I know, right? I looked at that this morning and I was like, oh man, Shopify is down a ton. And it kept going. Yeah, you're right. Rest in peace. Yeah, Sean says, let's go Jacob, and throws a ton of rockets there. There we go. Yeah. Rocket that account up, Jacob. That's awesome though, for real. I remember I don't remember my first profitable trade, but I remember trading back then when I was new, and I'll tell you, it was definitely exciting. So glad to see that you're doing well there, Jacob. That's cool. Did well on Amazon. I'm gonna check. Let's see. Trying to see if Amazon was anywhere, but I don't see it. All right. Let's go back to the watch list really quick. Let's see what's going on here. The Redbox is now up 10% again. This thing's been on, well, I shouldn't say on fire. It's been wacky today. It's been up, down like a whipsaw. Yeah, honestly, yeah, just continues to have just big moves to the upside and the downside both. Here we go with McDonald's going up here. Still moving up well after earnings came out this morning. So very nice move with them. Glad to see them flying up as much as they are. That's pretty nice. Sean says check SNDL. Yeah, I had that reverse split, didn't it? Someone said that earlier. It did a reverse split. That goes to show you how terrible SNDL is. Guys, yeah, reverse splits are not what you want. Definitely not what you want. Let me go on Thinkorswim real quick. Alright, so they're trading for like $2.71, I think. Is it halted right now? Did it halt? Okay, no, it didn't halt. Sorry about that, guys. It's just being very, very slow. Sorry about that, though. It did not halt. The stock is just, yeah, it's barely moving, but actually a pretty crazy setup with SNDL. These reverse splits, guys, are definitely not what people usually think. Keep in mind, this is terrible, terrible, terrible news for a shareholder if you have a reverse split happen. It pretty much takes your shares away, gives you less shares at a higher price, and then that way, if the stock goes back down, then you lose even more. So, like, you might be down 99%, and you only have, like, $5 left worth of the stock, but they'll take your little $5, they'll turn it into, maybe, like, one share at $5, and then if that $5, then now that $5 can go down to $2.50, and it keeps happening, like, I've seen some stuff where these companies did, like, multiple reverse splits in a row and had some terrible moves. That's funny, though, Sean. I can't believe they did that reverse split. J Deep says they missed picking up those 3M calls at 9 a.m. Went from 0.19 to 0.50. Yeah, that's big. That's a well over 100% increase there, J Deep. Awesome. 0.19 to 0.5. Yeah, that's a big move. Talking about Triple M, they're all over the place today. They flew up, flew down, consolidating. Pretty crazy. Elias says, good morning, Tom. Thoughts on Boeing? Hey, sorry, Elias. When I just read that, I was like, oh man, I missed that other question earlier. Sorry about that, though. Let's go check out Boeing. Honestly, I've been looking at Boeing a lot lately, Elias. Let's go see. Yeah, let's see. Boeing, it flew down today. It gapped down a little bit. It came up now. It's consolidating right around yesterday's closing price. Uh, I'd say I'm leaning down on this one today, Elias. My thoughts are Boeing's right at a big resistance. This is a pretty big area, actually. I'm going to mark it. And boom. Big resistance right there, right around 157.30, you could say. Definitely been lots of moves there over the past week or so. So I would say I'm leaning down here on Boeing. And my main reason is that I see today a lot of stocks are negative, especially the cruise lines and the airlines. So cruise lines are down. We have American Airlines in the red, Delta's in the red. But Boeing, for some reason, is actually holding up. Um, this could be due to good news from last week. I thought they had some good news with orders or something like that come through over the past couple weeks, and they have a lot of stuff like that going on. Let's see what else they have. Trying to see some more stuff here. Some Boeing workers plan to strike. That's not good. Boeing CEO, or it says Ryanair CEO, concerned about possible delay in Boeing 737 MAX deliveries. So that's interesting. I will say Boeing is very news driven, so keep that in mind. But I'm definitely leaning down. You know, that resistance holding up, and I would say we have a better chance to fall than we do to rise. That's for sure. J Deep said mispicking those 3M calls at 9 a.m. went from 0.19 to 0.50. Yeah. Yeah, like I said earlier, that's a big 100%er there. A big one, actually. That's a pretty good move, actually. For a stock that only went up 5%. And I don't even think Triple M had earnings, did they? Oh, they did. Okay. That's right. Surprised they're not moving worse, honestly. I'm glad they didn't come down with Walmart, thank God. Good thing they reported their own earnings. Let's go see Logi today is running up a little bit. They had earnings last night, and it actually came in negative. Both numbers did, and their stock's up, though, now, which is great. So maybe that outlook was better. I've been eyeing up some gaming stocks, too, like EA, Logitech, of course, TTWO. TTWO, guys, is going to be amazing whenever Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out. Like, this stock, honestly, guys, is going to be pretty insane, I think. Just keep in mind that game keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. Going back to SNDL real quick, I noticed there's some movement back to the downside again here. We got a big red candle kind of extending off to the downside, so definitely not what you want out of a stock like this. Yeah, definitely not good for SNDL. I also noticed, guys, that AMD just turned over in a big way. This thing kind of double topped up here around 87.80. We're falling off right back down into that big area of support down here around 86.40 now. And yeah, it's just, this has been a pretty crazy morning for AMD. They've been up, down, up, down. Look at these wicks on the 5-minute. I mean, some of these candles extending up and down have just been pretty insane, to say the least. So I don't know. That's crazy, though, to be honest. Keisha says, I think Target fell with Walmart. Yeah, it definitely did, Keisha. All the retailers are down. Target's down. Walmart's down. Costco's down. Hell, I bet even Kohl's or KSS is down. Yep, there it is. It's down too. Down as well. Let's go back to Boeing, though, real quick. I don't feel like I answered Elias's question good enough. So, yeah, I think that there's a good double top going on at 157.40. If we break that, maybe I would get out of puts. But for right now, yeah, I'm definitely leaning down, Elias. And I feel like Boeing could maybe come down and retest like 154. Maybe something like that. Somewhere close, I think. Be a tough play, but I think it's doable. Definitely doable. Iranical says, close seatbelt. We are going down. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're going down. That's big. How you guys feeling about Powell this week? You know, I know everybody's been interested in Powell and inflation and everything like that lately. Rates going up, obviously. What do you guys feel about Powell this week? Do you guys think Powell's going to help the market out? Do you think maybe he'll help the market for a day and then will fall the next day? I'm definitely interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this because, you know, it's easy for me to sit up here and say, well, you know, Powell's probably going to do well again, just like every time. But, you know, at some point, I feel like there has to be some type of negativity come in, especially with bad numbers coming out and stuff. It's just, I'm very curious to see what they say. You know, it's going to be a very interesting FOMC meeting and FOMC report this week. It's going to be extremely interesting. Probably going to be the biggest one of the year, given how all the stocks are at crucial levels right now, and that obviously, given that there's a lot of pressure on the Feds right now to do well with these events. But that's going to be insane. The interest rate decision's at 2 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday, and then Powell speaks at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So keep it on the horizon. As of this morning, or last night, I should say, the CME Group has a 75% probability of a 75 basis point rate hike. Now that I'm refreshing it today, still 75.1%, so unchanged, which is cool. And of course, the SPY's like selling off today, heading into this event. Or heading into these events. Multiple events, I guess it is. Yeah, if you guys looking at any stocks today, just let me know what you're watching. We can see what's happening here. SM says, do you think inflation is cooling off? You know, personally, I don't think it's cooling off yet, SM. I think, though, it will be cooling off soon. The question is just when is it going to happen? You know, that's the main thing. Personally, I feel like it's not. I feel like that we're still going to see some numbers that are a little bit higher than we think. Obviously, inflation data is not coming out this week. Let me see what I can do here. I should be able to do this month, I would think, but whoa. How did this go back to white now? Like, oh, they have a light mode and dark mode. Cool. I like the dark mode way better. Hey guys, let me know this. You know, me and Mike are always having little debates about this. Do you guys think that dark mode looks better, or do you guys think it looks better on light mode with the white? Personally, I think that dark mode looks better. I don't know. The white really does hurt my eyes, like I'm not gonna lie. It really does. If I just stare at that white screen all day, I think I would go blind. SM says, do you think inflation's cooling off? Visa earnings, please. Yeah, still talking about the inflation, though. Let me try to see next month. Let's see. So the inflation data is going to come out on the 10th, so August 10th. It looks like they're still forecasting inflation to go up a little bit by 0.1%, so I don't know. Oh my gosh. Wow, dark mode for sure. Okay. Wow. Wow, that's pretty good feedback, guys. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, if you guys like dark mode, keep throwing them in the chat. You know, that way I can show Mike and we can see how the charts go. I'm one that likes dark mode, but some people prefer the white mode. I know Mike is somebody who likes the white mode better. Elias says dark mode is not good for me. I have the worst vision on this entire world. Oh man. Is it like hard for you to see with the dark mode? Like, is it does it like run together a little bit, or I guess it's the same zoom. I guess it just let's see, light mode, dark mode. But yeah, nonetheless, though, that inflation data is coming out at the at the beginning of next month on the 10th. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see, this week. So this week, though, we still have the GDP going on, of course. We have the numbers with the Fed's interest rate. You know, we're going to have the personal spending later in the week, so that's going to be insane. Ironical says, I'm wondering if you only had 100 shares of SNDL and you sold call before reverse split, what will happen with the reverse split? So that's a good question, Ironical. So there's actually something out there called I want to call it like the OCC, like Options Clearing Company or something like that. And I believe that whenever you have stuff like reverse splits and stuff like that happen, they come in and they make sure kind of, well, they don't come in, but you know what I mean? There's some like parameters out there that go to show that like, hey, if, you know, a stock reverse splits, then this happens with the options. So what would happen, I would guess, Ironical, is what's probably going to happen is you had 100 shares and you sold a call before the split. What will happen? So you still have 100 shares and you're selling the call. What would happen is that the price would just change. So if the reverse split was 10 to 1, then, you know, your share price would 10 to 1, and then the options pricing would probably change accordingly as well to be the same percentage. So that's probably what would happen. That's what I think would end up happening, but nonetheless, though, it's good question though. I will say it's gonna be. I think that it would happen to where, you know, obviously that your shares are gonna do the reverse split, and your shares are gonna do that split. But then obviously your option is gonna have to change price too. And I don't know the exact calculation, Ironical, but it should calculate, you know, kind of down to like what the options pricing should have been compared to the share price of the stock before the reverse split happened. So I hope that wasn't like, too confusing. It probably was, but it's that is kind of a confusing situation anyways. But yeah, if you guys are liking the stream, smash that like button today. We have about probably 8 minutes left, 8 to 10 minutes. If you guys are liking the stream, smash that like button. But here we go. We have that SPY starting to sell back off to the downside again, down to 392.30. That is a pretty big drop off to the downside there. 392.30 is a pretty big area of support down there too. Honestly, like 393 was today. The SPY just has a lot of support levels right here. Anywhere from 392.50 to 392. And I feel like we're definitely going to be pushing down lower with this. Same thing with the QQQ. There we go. QQQ is down right to the main support of today. Right at like 296. And I feel like QQQ could have a bigger sell-off today than the SPY, especially given all the crazy stocks in the QQQ. Like all these tech stocks are insane to see here today. Man, look at Apple. It's starting to fall back off again. We're falling under the support. Not good. That's definitely not what you want to see. Wow. Keisha says, did FDX fall in sympathy with UPS? Yeah, before I even look at it, I can tell you that happened. Yeah, it definitely did. I would say it did. That's a pretty rough move with poor FedEx there, Keisha. Wow, that's rough. Dang. Yeah, that's not what you want to see at all with FedEx. Wow. That's a bad sympathy move. UPS. Still can't believe UPS gapped down this much. It's only 3%. It's not really that much, but Oh, it sucks to see intraday because this is like a slower mover. You know, it doesn't usually go up like 5% in a given day. Now you can see we honestly gave back all the gains going all the way back to July 18th, really. So, like 8 days ago. J Deep says those 3M options now it's 63 from 19. I hate myself I didn't get in those. Yeah, I feel you, J Deep. You know, sometimes it sucks, you know, you miss out a little bit, but I will say just keep in mind that, you know, this was a pretty crazy move, J Deep. When were you looking at it? Were you looking at it on this recent dip here, or was it like right when the market opened? Because I feel like it's going to be a crazy setup either way, no matter what happens with it. In reality, like you said, they're at 63 from 19. I'm curious though if that's the low from yesterday or the low from today. Let me know, actually. I'll be curious to see. 9 a.m. All right, 9 a.m. Let's see. Okay, I see. Yeah, that was the low down there of this recent dip. So that makes more sense. That's kind of what I thought, Ironical. So thanks for saying 9 a.m. Oh, I see it now on your past post. Okay. I see now. Thanks though, J Deep. That was that's cool though. I feel bad you missed on it, but I will say, you know, it's an after earnings play. Probably gonna be risky. You'll probably be happier playing Microsoft or something like that tomorrow, honestly. You'll probably like that better. Good old Google here. J Deep says stocks tend to dip after opening and then they go back up end of day. Yeah, hey, if you're finding a nice pattern like that, J Deep, take advantage. You know, hopefully hopefully you can take good advantage of it and, you know, maybe get some good plays. I know Google did that today. It dipped down at open and then started coming back up a little bit. Same thing with Microsoft. Dipped down, although it's not coming back up too much compared to other stocks, but not bad though. Not bad, but yeah, if you guys are looking for any last minute stocks or anything like that, just let me know and we can eye it up, of course. I appreciate everybody joining up today. Seriously, I think we had some pretty good conversations today, going over earnings and lots of other stocks like that. J Deep says, thanks for getting my hopes up. I know, right? I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope 3M keeps doing well. Maybe you can catch it, you know, again here in a little while. I feel like Microsoft might be a pretty good play to the downside today, J Deep, if you're looking for something like that. I think that'll be a good play down. Apple, I think, might be a good play down too. What else? What was my free day trade today? Let me see. My free day trade. Oh, it was Apple. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, Apple below 151.70. We kind of just consolidated here. We fell below it a little bit, but we definitely need some bigger moves down. That's for sure. Wow, this is pretty crazy though, guys. Seeing all these big tech stocks falling off like this is not too good to see. But before we go, guys, I just wanted to say I wanted to give another shout out to Jacob Than, or JT. Made his he did Amazon calls today. Had his first profitable trade on his own. So there we go, guys. I mean, that's awesome. You know, did great on Amazon there. He actually messaged me on Discord, said he did good on the hybrid play yesterday with Amazon, and then also said he did good with Alibaba as well. So there we go. Or he did good with ZOM yesterday. Sorry, ZOM on the hybrid play yesterday. But he also played Amazon and, like I said, Baba too. So yeah, great plays, Jacob Than. Really, I appreciate you joining up and everything like that. And don't forget to give him some W's in the chat, guys. We all remember our first profits, and you know, I know pretty big milestone. You know, first profitable trade on your own. So yeah, shout out to you, Jacob. You kind of made my morning. You know, whenever you said that, I'm not gonna lie. You you know, you kind of you got me pretty excited. You know, I'm in a good mood now. So there we go. Even though DraftKings is down, you somehow put a smile on my face, saying you did so good with those options. So yeah, appreciate you guys joining up today. Have a great rest of your day. Again, congrats to Jacob. Thank you, E, J Deep, Keisha, Jacob, Sean Cornish, Elias, I'm Fierce, Melissa, let's see, E, Ironical, I don't want to miss anybody, Vicky, Slick Messy. Hey, Slick, if you're still in here, thanks for popping in. Jamie. So yeah, seriously, guys, Bill W. Appreciate all you again, as always. Let's have a great rest of the day today. Hopefully some of these growth stocks like DraftKings can start to turn it back around a little bit. We have some Microsoft here. We got Apple falling off. Like, it's starting to become a pretty brutal day in the markets, guys. Can't lie. So be on the lookout for plays to the downside. I feel like that's going to be the way to go today, especially on SPY and different stocks like that. But yeah, have a great rest of your day, guys. And as always, post those profits in the Profits channel. Have a good one.